Open up the window. I'm breathing in the last of September. I can feel the wind blow, and the late summer sky is like a giant ember. Everything is turning into gold. When the autumn leaves are playing chase, it puts a smile up on my face. They leave their branches one by one and whirl around there just for fun. Some are faster, some are slow, and some are high and some are low, dancing through the last days of September.
The best season ever is upon us. Once again, happy fall, you guys. Welcome to the September reset vlog. I'm so torn because I'm so excited for fall, but I'm also not ready for summer to be over yet. I love everything about fall. Like, I'm breaking out the fall sweaters. I've got my first fall candle burning in the background. Cooler days, like the leaves turning color. I love everything about fall, but I also love summer, so it's always kind of like, oh, kind of sad when you have to say goodbye to summer. But the whole point of these monthly reset vlogs is to look forward to the future and get ready for kind of the next phase of our lives. So that's what we're doing in this video. We're getting ready for September, but we're also getting ready for the entire fall season. If you guys are new here, hello and welcome. My name is Charlotte. I'm a lifestyle and productivity vlogger here on YouTube, focusing on changing phases of my life from college and post-grad into the professional world, what we like to call on my channel the big girl world. And so I feel like in my life it kind of lines up with the change of seasons right now. Like, I'm really in this transitional period in my life where I'm moving on from college and trying to figure out what I want to do next as the seasons are changing. It just kind of all cosmically lines up really well for me right now. So I'm really hoping to kind of embrace that next chapter and really focus on what's coming next for me. So welcome to the reset vlog. We already refreshed my space, which feels so nice. Just cleaning up a little bit and really starting a new month or a new phase of your life on a good note with a clean, refreshed space always feels so nice to me. I love doing like the physical space resets in these reset vlogs. So that is one piece of advice that I have for really just starting a new month on the best foot possible, is by cleaning up your space. Even if you just take like 15 minutes to pick up your clothes off the floor, or, you know, run a feather duster over your surfaces. It really just, for me, it makes such a big difference in my mindset. And I always feel way more ready to tackle a new month or a new project or a new item whenever I have a nice refreshed space. For August, we tried something new in the sense that I didn't set any goals for August. I'm more focused on a word and like a vibe for the month. So for August, that word was discipline. I was really just trying to focus on applying discipline in a bunch of different areas of my life. And honestly, I think I like the method of picking a word for the month or a focus for the month rather than setting a bunch of just arbitrary goals for the month. However, I don't think that I really like lived up to that word that I set for August, discipline. There were a lot of things that I kind of just let go of during August, things that I like wish that I hadn't let go of. Like, not letting go in a good way of like, oh, I'm letting something go, but I kind of just like let myself go and let my good habits go. For example, I really stopped posting on social media for a good 3+ weeks. I didn't upload anything. I didn't post anything on Instagram or TikTok. And social media management and content creation for my YouTube channel, for my Instagram, my TikTok is my full-time job this summer. So that was a little dicey to kind of just take a long unscheduled break from that. And obviously now I'm back and I'm posting again, but I wasn't super disciplined about following a content schedule or filming and posting on specific days. I really kind of let that go. Another thing that I've been doing really consistently for a long time is like getting up in the morning and making my bed, and I really didn't do that a lot in August. And same thing with another like really small thing that I kind of gave up on was not using screens at night. For a really long time, I focused super hard on not using my phone at night, not watching TV to fall asleep, and trying to like read instead or do something more productive with my time, like creating something or reading a book or what have you. But I really fell out of that habit and I started watching TV again in bed, and I would watch TV until I fell asleep and bring my laptop with me into bed. And that's just a habit that I don't like. I tried really hard to break last year and like during the school year. So I'm definitely like feeling a couple different things about like allowing myself to get back into those bad habits. At the same time though, I'm not taking it too seriously. Like, I'm not doing anything really like harmful to myself. Like, yeah, you're probably not supposed to like have that much blue light at night, but like in the grand scheme of things, I'm not really doing anything bad. I'm kind of just like falling into habits that I'd rather not have, but again, in the grand scheme of things, like it's really not that serious. And as I've kind of talked about in a couple different vlogs, I've been in this major slump all of August, and those were a few of the things, like watching a new TV show, even if it meant watching it at night. Watching it at all was like a highlight of my day. It was just really nice to kind of escape into the fictional world of a TV show for a little bit. So I do think like context is important. It's not just like, oh, whatever, I'm gonna be lazy and mindlessly scroll at night. It was like, no, I'm going through kind of a rough patch in my life right now, so it's okay if I need to kind of lean on those older coping mechanisms like watching TV before bed. Like, I'm giving myself permission to just be okay with that. Also, like I mentioned in my August reset vlog, I think sometimes I get kind of caught up in this cycle of treating my life like a self-improvement project, and it is exhausting to constantly try and be like bettering yourself. So in August, although I don't think I was super disciplined about a lot of things, I do think I was allowing my brain and allowing myself to take a break from being this like hyper motivated, hyper productive person that I had to be like during school. And I really hadn't like taken that persona off for a long time. So I think August, in a way, even though it was different than I'm used to and not exactly the kind of month that I enjoy having, I do think it was important for me to kind of have that break and take some time to just like do what I'm interested in doing rather than what I feel like I should be interested in doing. So all in all, even though August wasn't my best month ever, I don't think it was my worst month ever either. I think it's just like right in the middle of the year. I had some highs, I had some lows, and I think it was a good way for me to kind of just like totally refresh my mindset and evaluate where I want to be going into the rest of the year. So with that being said, we are going to pick out a new word for September, some new things to focus on, maybe set like some loose goals. I'm still trying to figure out if I want to set some goals or not. And to do all that, we are going to refresh and update my Notion page. So we're gonna head over to Pinterest, grab some cutie little like fall inspired pictures, and refresh my Notion page
Since
for
I was a
September.
little child, every year for as long as I remember, all the leaves were running wild, going all the way until November. Turn the world around us into gold. When the autumn leaves are playing chase it, puts a smile up on my face. They leave their branches one by one and
You guys, I am feeling the fall vibes so hardcore now that I've updated my Notion. I probably went a little bit ham making it fall themed, but it just looks so good. So this is what we went with for September. Again, super intense fall vibes, like all of the leaves and the like coffee and the pastries and just like the browns and oranges. Like, I'm so here for it. As always, I found all my pictures on Pinterest and I made my banner in Canva. I went with the little like coffee cup emoji for my icon. I don't drink coffee, but it's just such an aesthetic thing anyway. Like, I'm totally fine faking coffee and like using coffee as my theme for September because it's just such a fall thing. Like, I don't even have to drink it. It's just like the idea of it is so fall for me. So I also updated all my little pictures. I'm super excited for apple season. I used to love going apple picking with my family. And then over in the corner, we have my September focus. I decided to kind of combine the ideas of picking a word for the month and setting goals for the month. We talked about this in my August reset vlog. I don't like picking goals for the month so much anymore because it kind of started to feel like I was overdoing it, where I would pick all these goals just to have all these goals, not because I actually wanted to focus on improving those areas of my life. So I've kind of combined the idea of picking a word for the month, and then rather than just kind of applying that to every aspect of my life. I want to apply it to certain aspects of my life, like specifically. So what I did for September was I picked one word to kind of encapsulate what I want to focus on, and then one real like intention for the month. So my word for the month is going to be determination. I want this month to be all about like getting out there, putting myself out there, achieving the things that I want to achieve, really not like waiting for my life to turn into the life that I want, but instead going out and making it the life that I want. I think one of the reasons I fell into the slump that I was in during August was because I faced a lot of rejection. So as you guys know, I'm applying for jobs and I have sent out so many job applications, you guys, like so many. I've got an entire Notion page dedicated to the job applications that I've sent out. And I'm getting job rejection emails almost as quickly as I'm sending out job applications. And that has definitely been a real knock to my self-esteem. And it's been a real challenge for me. And I totally understand that like, it's just kind of the way it goes to send out job applications. You're not going to get every job that you apply for. Part of the job application process is facing rejection. But I was just facing a lot more rejection than I'm used to during August. And it really kind of knocked me off my feet for a little bit. It put me in this headspace where I wasn't feeling confident and I wasn't feeling motivated. I wasn't feeling determined. I was just kind of in this like, well, it's not going to work out anyway, so why even try kind of mindset, which I hate that mindset. So I really want to challenge that, like challenge those negative thoughts, challenge that anxiety during September by focusing on my determination, really feeling like it's not about how many times you get knocked down, it's about how many times you get back up. And in September, I am, I think, more prepared now to face that feeling of getting knocked down. And because of that, I am more prepared to get back up stronger every single time. So like not letting rejections from jobs or apartments or whatever it may be, not letting those faze me, really trying to just let it roll off me like water off a duck's back and moving on to my next available options. So like I am determined during September to get a job. I'm determined to continue applying for as many jobs as I need to until I land a job. And then kind of, you know, like dependent on if I can get that job, I'm determined to get a big girl apartment, move down to Raleigh or wherever else the universe is telling me to go. You guys know I'm trying to go to Raleigh, North Carolina, but I'm also trying to be aware of like maybe because I keep getting rejected, the universe is trying to steer me elsewhere. I'm trying to be open to those signals as well. But no matter what, no matter where I end up, no matter what job I end up working, I am determined to make that happen. Obviously, also just like a little caveat, I would like that to happen during September. I would love for that to happen during September, but I'm also not going to consider it a failure if it doesn't happen in September. I just want it to happen, and this is the month we're going into, so we're setting it as like a goal and an intention for September. So I have those little notes under my intention for the month, my word of the month, determination. I want to apply for jobs every day. I'm going to apply for jobs until there are no jobs left to apply for, or until I can land a job. And I also want to keep a consistent upload schedule with YouTube. I may, for a little while, dip back down to uploading once a week. So if that happens, I will let you guys know in advance. But I do also want to change my upload schedule. For the summer, I was trying to make it Tuesday and Friday, and I have no idea, honestly, why I did that, because that doesn't have anything to do with my regular upload schedule. So I'm switching my upload schedule back. I'm going to upload on Sundays and Thursdays now. So still 2 times a week unless you hear from me otherwise, but I'll be uploading on Sundays and Thursdays instead of Tuesdays and Fridays, or I'm going to be trying to at least. And then my other intention for the month is to get back into those good habits that I worked really hard to set for myself earlier in the year. I feel like this is the part of the year where it gets really hard to stay consistent with your goals and stay consistent with your habits. At least it is for me. I feel like September will be the 9th month of trying to like live these yearly habits. You kind of fall into a pattern, you fall into a routine. Like it's not as exciting to keep up with the things that you've already started doing as it is to start something new. But that doesn't mean that it's not important to keep up with the progress I've already made. So I put this in here, this intention of getting back into my good habits, as kind of a reminder goal for myself to keep up with the things that I've already established as good habits and good like pieces of my routine. So for example, I want to go back to no screens in bed, like no computer in bed, no phone in bed, no phone like when you wake up in the morning. I still charge my phone across the room, which is a good thing. I didn't cross that line, but I definitely brought my computer into bed. And during September, I want to stop doing that again. And I want to replace that with reading again. I really didn't read a lot during August because I was watching TV during like when I'm trying to fall asleep rather than reading. So I want to get back into that, replacing television with books. And then I want to get back into making my bed every day. Again, these are super small things. It's not like the world's most exciting goals, but they're important to me and they're important to my lifestyle. And they're things that I was doing really good with and then felt myself slipping on during August. So again, I'm just refocusing my energy and my effort onto doing those things so that I can maintain those habits and continue to build new habits in the future. Like these things were second nature and then I kind of like let them slip. So I'm just trying to get them back into second nature before I start adding more on top. So anyway, those are my intentions for September, my word for the month, determination, and my intention to kind of get back into my good habits. I actually really love this method of like goal setting, I guess, or intention setting, or whatever you want to call it. I find it way more motivating than, like I've mentioned a couple times, just picking like a laundry list of goals. And I think it's going to help me a little bit more to have some more specific dots on the roadmap for September than I did in August. August, I kind of like let myself flail a little bit. I reduced my goal setting and I think I reduced it just a little bit too much. So I think this will get us back on the right track for September. Okay, so like I mentioned, I didn't read almost at all during August. So this is going to be a pretty short book club segment. The only book that I completed during August was Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And y'all, this book was so good. This book was just the perfect, like, end of summer, drama-filled, like, family. It felt like I was reading, like, a soap opera, basically. It was so good. I've read 2 other Taylor Jenkins Reids. I still can't say her name. I struggled with this in August. TJR. I read a couple other TJR books. I read 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and One True Loves. Loved 7 Husbands, hated One True Loves, loved Malibu Rising. Honestly, I might have loved this even more than I loved 7 Husbands. It was just so good. Like the pacing was so good. The stories, it was 2 different plot lines, like 2 different timelines. Both timelines were so good. All of the different plot points were so good. Like I was hooked reading this book. I think I read it in like 3 days. Let's see. Pull up my Goodreads. Okay, yeah, I read this in 4 days. So 5 stars on this book. It was so good. The only other book that I really had anything to do with during August was People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. I've read 42 pages of this. That's it. I'm actually trying to coordinate buddy reading this book with one of my friends on Instagram. I gotta tell you guys though, I'm not super impressed with Emily Henry these days. I read Beach Read last summer and it was really good. I really loved it at the time, but that was also the time that I was getting back into reading. I tried to read Book Lovers and I didn't like it, and I listened to Happy Place on audiobook during July and I hated it, like 1 star hated it. So I don't know how this is gonna end up. So far, I'm not super impressed, but again, I'm only 42 pages in right now, so this one, I don't really know where this counts. I don't know when I'll finish this, when I'll even read it, but I read 42 pages of this during August. Okay, so moving on to the books that I want to read in September. Some of them are just going to be rollover books from what I wanted to read in August but didn't get to. Okay, first things first, I think this is the first one that I want to read because I really did want to read this in August and I just didn't get the chance. This is Something Wilder by Christina Lauren. The person mowing their lawn, can you stop? I've had this book for a really long time. I think I've had this since June and I've been saving it for August and I just never got around to it. Honestly, I really hope this is good because I think one of the reasons I stopped reading during August was that I was in such a slump with romance books. They're all the same these days. They all feel so cookie cutter, but this one feels like it could be different. Please be different. I think one of the reasons I loved Malibu Rising so much was that, I mean, it had a romance element, but it wasn't a romance novel. Like this is just fiction. So I'm giving this a chance. One more chance at the romance novels. And if it's not excellent, then I might be done with romance for the rest of the year. Next up, another rollover from August. This is Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. Again, wanted to read this in August, didn't get the chance because I was too busy watching TV. This doesn't have anything to do with books, but I started and finished, by the way, watching The Rookie on Hulu. Y'all, this TV show ruined my life. It's so good that I couldn't stop watching it. I've actually watched it twice in the span of like 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks. I watched 5 seasons of this show 2 different times. That's so honestly, that's the reason that I wasn't vlogging, is because all of my time went to watching this TV show. It was so good. Oh my God. If you have Hulu, watch it. It's so good. It's like a cop show about the LAPD, and the main character, John Nolan, is this like middle-aged dude who changes up his entire life in his 40s and goes and turns into like a rookie cop for the LAPD. And like, oh guys, it's so good. Like, it's my new favorite TV show. Season 6 is coming hopefully soon. Like, there's gonna be another season. Hopefully there's gonna be a lot more seasons, but there's gonna be at least one more coming probably in 2024. And I'm so excited. Like, as soon as the Rookie season 6 comes out, everyone take cover, because I'm about to be insufferable. And it really has been such a long time since I've been interested, like really invested in a TV show. Usually I've been dedicating all of that like obsessive energy towards my books, but I don't know, there wasn't room for TV and books in August, and TV won. The Rookie won my heart. So anyway, now that it's over and I've watched it in its entirety twice, I'm gonna get back into my reading. And long tangent aside, that is where all of these books come in, like for example, Where the Crawdads Sing. The tangent I just went on had nothing to do with this book. What can you do? I'm not setting a specific number of books that I want to read in September. Usually I go with about 3, so we'll see if I can like stick to that, but I've got more than 3 like picked out, so we'll see how it turns out. But another book that I really want to read is The Perfect Marriage. This is by Geneva Rose. My roommate Morgan read this book, I think, like the entire thing on the plane to Disney. It might have been like she read half on the way there and half on the way back, but she said it was super good. And then, so I bought it, and I've been saving it because I couldn't figure out which month I wanted to read it in. Decided it's a September book because, I mean, look at it. It looks like a September book. But my friend Caroline read it over the summer. She said it was fantastic. So I've had this on my shelf for months, and I've been waiting to read it. Very excited now to actually read it. This is a murder mystery, like legal drama, I think. So that's fun. And then lastly, the last book that I have kind of picked out for my September TBR is Cover Story by Susan Rigetti? Susan R. First of all, a moment for the cover. This is quite possibly one of my favorite book covers ever. This is beautiful. But this is like a thriller mystery. I don't actually know if this is a murder mystery or not. No, I don't think this is a murder mystery, at least not from what I can tell. I think it's just like a thriller, like suspense mystery kind of book, and it looks so good. So this actually arguably might be the one that I'm most excited to read during September, but I will keep you guys updated over on my Instagram. I'll let you know. I do my book reviews over on Instagram. Obviously I haven't done any recently because I haven't been reading anything, but once I do get back into my reading, I will keep you guys updated over there. Also, a fun little announcement. I've talked about this in previous vlogs, but I've started selling my used books. So if you guys want to buy any of the books that I talk about in these reset vlogs, I list them pretty much as soon as I finish reading them over on an app called Pango Books. Free to download. This is not sponsored at all. I just am trying to get rid of some of my old books. That stack over there is actually the books that I am currently selling, that I currently have listed. So basically, once I'm done reading them, I just go over and I list them on Pango Books for like a significantly discounted rate from what they're usually sold as. So if you guys want to get any of the books that I've read, I'm selling them over on Pango Books. I'll leave a link in the description to my little like storefront where you can buy the books that I'm selling. Thought book club would be the perfect time to plug that. Again, not sponsored. I just think it's a cool app. But that's it for this month's book club. I hope you all enjoyed. We have a pretty stack this month. Very pretty. All the colors go together really well. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to kind of the last phase of the reset vlog, which is my bullet journal. You guys, I have been so bad about keeping up with my bullet journal, especially during August. I was actually, you know what? I was okay at it in the beginning of the month. Like, I was okay probably for the first like third of the month. I kept up with it every day. I was really on a roll with it. And then I really just fell off. Like, it's so funny. You can see the exact day that I fell into the slump and just kind of stopped doing all of the stuff that I normally do, like my journaling and kind of the other things that we've talked about, like uploading and whatnot. So I'm excited to make a new spread for September and again, like recommit myself to those good habits, recommit myself to working on my bullet journal. Also, I have to apologize. my neighbor is mowing their lawn. They always seem to mow their lawn at the exact same time that I turn on the camera to start filming. So I'm gonna try my best to talk around the lawnmower, but I can only do so much. So I've just got a couple spreads that I make every month in my bullet journal. We've got kind of like the cover homepage where I do a little collage of the same pictures that I use in my Notion. I do my habit tracker and my daily highlight to practice gratitude. And then I also try to track my screen time and my like hours that I'm sleeping. But I also in my bullet journal do my book reviews, and I have been so backed up on my book reviews. It's insane. So I'm not gonna do all of the book reviews for this vlog because it would take like literally multiple days and it doesn't have a ton to do with September, but I just wanted to update you guys. These are all the pictures that I printed out so that I could put them in my bullet journal for my book reviews. We've got 13 books on here that I haven't reviewed, and this isn't even all of them. There are still a couple that I need to work on and like print out and put in my bullet journal, but this will be a good start. And then we've also got a couple of the pictures I want to put in my like front of September, like September intro page collage up here as well. This just goes to show, like, you try your best, sometimes you can't win them all, but what matters is if you're working on improving an area that you want to improve, like if you're putting in the effort, even if you're not seeing the results that you want immediately, what matters is you're putting in the effort. So like I'm trying to recommit myself to journaling and getting back in my good habits. So I'm starting small by backfilling all of my book reviews, and I'm doing what I can. So this is just a reminder, like, it's really easy to sometimes feel like you're falling behind or feel like everyone else is out there like achieving their goals and living their dream lives and you're the only one that's not. But trust me, that is not the case. Everybody struggles, everybody has a hard time, everyone falls down now and then, and everybody needs some help getting up every time too. So it seems kind of silly, but like this is your reminder. Sometimes you just need to print a sheet full of book covers and put them in your bullet journal 6 months after you finish reading a book. And that if there's something that makes you happy, there's no timeline on it. Anyway, motivational speech aside, let's fill out my bullet journal for September and make some new spreads.
Some are slow and some are high and some are low. Dancing through the last days of September. I wonder where they're going, the flight of swallows sailing through the sky. There's no way of knowing, but maybe someplace far from you and I. When the autumn leaves are playing chase, it puts a smile up on my face. They leave their branches one by one and whirl around there just for fun. Some are faster, some are slow, and some are high and some are low. Dancing through the last days of September. When the autumn leaves are playing chase, it puts a smile up on my face. They leave their branches one by one and whirl around there just for fun. Some are faster, some are slow, and some are high and some are low. Dancing through the last days of September. Dancing through the last days of September.
Okay, you guys, I finished my September spreads and I gotta tell you, I love the way that these turned out. I know it's like, it's always the same. Like I do the same 3 spreads. They always look the same for every month, but I don't know, my August spreads just didn't turn out the way that I wanted them to, and my September spreads turned out so cute. So let me show you guys. We're gonna balance you on top of my book stack like I used to at school, and hopefully you don't fall over and break. So up first we have our little homepage. Is this a joke? Bro, for real? I just started spraying my lawn for mosquitoes. It's September. Okay, so first up we have the little homepage. I did September with some falling leaves. I think this looks super cute. I love these photos so much. Kind of like we talked about with like setting up my Notion and stuff. It's really nice with the change of seasons. Like I feel like all my summer pictures looked kind of similar. So it's really nice to kind of move into a new aesthetic for the new season. Then if we move over here, we've got just the like mini calendar of the month. And even though for September, I'm definitely going for more of like a brown beige vibe, I can't live without my greens. So we had some plants, and then I have this like dried wheat in like a cute little aesthetic vase. I just love these little doodles. I think they add so much to just make it so cute. On the next page, we have my habit trackers and my daily highlight. This is to practice my gratitude and like finding at least one good thing that happens every day. Over here, I track my 9 habits and the things that I'm obsessed with during September. These are always really fun to go back to, like each month. I can go back and see what I was interested in and what I enjoyed. And then finally, we have my 2 trackers for my screen time and my sleeping. And it just feels really nice to kind of, you know, like I said, recommit myself to my journaling and focusing on myself in September and like really focusing on creating that life that I want to live, really being determined to go create this life, go out there and grab it. So I'm feeling really good about these. I think it turned out super cute. And with the bullet journal being done, that is going to be it for this monthly reset vlog. I know I've said it a bunch of times in this video, but I am really so excited for fall. It's one of my favorite seasons. I think it may be my favorite season. I don't know, summer and fall, it's always a toss-up because I love how long the days are in summer, but I love everything else about fall. So I'm just really excited for this season of my life. Fingers crossed that this is going to be the time when things really come together. Even if they're not perfect, I think that's something that I kind of tend to get caught up on is my perfectionism tendencies. So I really want to focus on making things as good as they can be without obsessing about them being perfect, because perfect doesn't exist. It's not real. So anyway, that is it for me. That is enough sage life advice. I feel like I've offered a lot of advice in this video, so take what resonates, leave the rest. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like on it for me down below and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. We just hit 29,000 subscribers, which is so insane. So if you haven't already, make sure you join the family. We're so close to hitting 30K. But that is it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.